Hello, this is 15.6 notes, and it is choosing a measure of frequency. Go ahead and write down today's date and the learning goal, the homework, and the bell work, and then we can go ahead and get started. So our goal today is to be able to choose a measure of frequency. So we want to know which table we're going to be needing and using. If we're going to be using the frequency table, if we're going to be using the total relative frequency table, the row relative frequency table, or the column relative frequency table. When do we use each one is what we're trying to figure out. So the first question says the athletic department surveys students as they leave a game. You want to know if more male students than female students have season tickets. And we want to know which table is going to be most helpful in that situation. Well, the first thing that we notice is that we are looking to see if more male students than female students have season pass tickets. We care about the number of students, both male and female, that are going to have season tickets. But we don't care about the percent. So because of that, we're going to go with the frequency table. This one over here does not show the number of season tickets. It shows the percent. So we're going to go with the one with the number. So we also want to know if a male student is more likely than a female student to have a season ticket. So are they more likely? As we're looking at it, we are seeing that they did not ask the exact same number of students. So we are looking to compare percents to know whether or not men are going to be more likely than women to have this particular season ticket. So because of that, the row frequency is going to do this because we can identify men who have the ticket and women who have the ticket. And so we're comparing the percents because right here we can see that we don't have the same number of people that we have asked. Okay, so we are looking, and the table shows the responses to the statement, a new student center should be built. What type of relative frequency table shows the percent of juniors who responded no opinion? So this is first the type of tables that we can choose from: the total relative frequency table, the row relative frequency table, or the column relative frequency table. Well, we are only looking for juniors. We don't care about everyone else. So this, we're going to use our column, and we are going to just look for the ones that responded no opinion. So we want this, the 24 out of the 504, to find out how many juniors have no opinion at all. So we're going to do 24 divided by 504 times 100 to find out what percent that is. And it is 4.8%. And we found that with the column frequency table, knowing that we only cared about our juniors. And then from there, we wanted their opinions. So the people who agreed, disagreed, but no opinion was the one that we were really focused in on. Okay, so you surveyed train riders on a Monday morning, and the frequency table shows the results. What type of relative frequency table shows the percent of people surveyed who were arriving commuters? Once again, these are the types of relative frequency tables that are going to show us percents, and we are wanting people who are arriving commuters. Because we are looking at all of the people in the entire station, not just people who are arriving, not just commuters or vacationers, we're going to take this 80 out of 200, and we care about the total number of people who are coming in. So we're going to use a total relative frequency table. And we're going to do 80 divided by 200 times 100 to find out that 40% of people who are riding on a Monday morning are commuters who are arriving at their destination. Okay, this is data that a pet groomer has taken. It says a pet groomer wants to see if the type of pet a client has influences the grooming period. The groomer's data is shown at the table below. So based on the groomer's data, is there evidence of an association between the type of pet and the grooming period. And we want to be able to explain this. So we want to know, does the type of pet influence how often you bring them in to have them groomed? Because we're looking at the type of pet, we're going to start with a row frequency table. Because all of our pets here are in rows and we care about the type of pet that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and make my table real quick. You can make one as we go. So this is the week, the month, the year, and the total. And this is the type of pet that I'm going to have. I'm going to have a dog, a cat, and a total. And so we're going to say, okay, what is my total across here? And I want these to be 100% because I'm going for a row frequency table. So I'm going to do 78 divided by 653 to find my percent. It's going to be 11.9. Then I'm going to do 410 divided by 653 times 100. And I'm going to get 62.8. Then I'm going to do 165 divided by 653. And I'm going to find that that's 25.3%. I'm going to do the same thing with the cats. So 51 divided by 422 times 100 is going to be 12.1%. 266 divided by 422 is times 100 is going to leave me at 63%. And 105 divided by 422 times 100 is going to leave me at 24.9%. All of these added up should be 100%. And then honestly, I don't care about the total number because I'm just looking at the dogs versus the cats. So I'm not even going to go ahead and finish that table out. Each of the rows, as I'm looking at them, people who are bringing in their dogs and their cats on a weekly basis are almost the same percent. One's 11.9, one's 12.1. So those are about the same. Then I'm going to look at monthly. So the dogs, they're bringing in their dogs monthly to be groomed at about 63%, and same way with their cats. So those are close to being the same. Then yearly, people who just bring their dogs in once a year is about 25%. And when I'm rounding the cats, those are about 25% too. So in all of these categories with dogs and cats, I'm going to find out that we are going to say that the pet types do not seem to influence the grooming patterns that the family has. So that is my conclusion based on the table that this person has given us. Our last one says that you suspect there is a relationship between having siblings and having chores. So you gather data from the members of your class to see if it's true. So here is our data right down here, and we want to know, based on the data in the table, is there evidence of an association between having siblings and having chores? So we think that having siblings is going to be our biggest thing that influences chores. Or at least how many chores that you have in your family to do. So the first thing that we're going to do is say, because siblings is our first thing that we're looking at, is we're going to go ahead and create a column data for this because the siblings are in the column. So if you have a sibling, we have a yes and no. And then if you have chores, we have a yes and no. So people who have siblings, out of the total number of those people, since we're doing a column, or column relative frequency table, we're going to do 35 divided by 60 times 100 to find out that it is going to be 58.3% of those people have chores. People who do not have siblings are 25 out of 60 times 100, and that's going to give us 41.7%. People that do not have siblings, 15 out of the 30 people is going to give us 50%. And then the other 15, we don't have to do that one because we've already done it, that's 50%. So now we're going to take a look at our data in this column frequency table to figure out how many of, whether or not this influences. So if we have a sibling, it looks like most of us will do chores. Because we're looking at us, we have 58% out of the total number of us who have siblings are going to do chores. And then if we do not have any siblings, or if we have siblings then and no chores, that's only going to be a few of us, only 41%. Out of the people who do not have siblings, 50% of each one of them, 50% are going to have chores, 50% do not have chores. So if you don't have a sibling, you're equally as likely to have chores or not have chores. But if you do have a sibling, you're more likely to have chores. So we say yes, having a sibling does seem to influence whether or not you have chores based on this data. Based on this data, has an influence on chores. That is our conclusion based on the data. Okay, jump into your homework and do the best you can. Make sure you ask questions if you have any along the way. This is the last section that we're going to be doing before we start reviewing for our test, so you really want to make sure that you understand it. Okay, go ahead and get started. Good luck.